Hey, folks, it's 5:34, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present. We're missing Commissioner Beach and Commissioner Bowers. Everyone else is here, and Carla is here. So we have five. We're going to do a Pledge of Allegiance in 5 seconds. All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Hello, Carla. Guys, don't forget to put your mics on when you wish to speak. And the first thing is to do the approval of the meeting minutes from June 10th, 2025. The minutes have been distributed in the agenda packet prior to the meeting for your review. Does anyone have any corrections to those long meeting minutes? Anywhere? You want to do it over?
Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
Do you want
no.
to go verbally?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going 6-0, motion passes.
Good evening. Hello. Well, I wanted to kind of say welcome. Good to see you. I feel like we haven't seen you like this, so it's good to see everybody. Um, you're getting a copy of our new guide. It's our art and culture guide, and it takes you through fall to winter. So take a look. We're very proud of that. And in the back, it has events coming up, art and cultural events throughout the guide. It'll have our Art Pal program and different opportunities available from cultural events to partnered events. So please take a look and let me know if you have any questions. I wanted to share with you the Spotlight. So we're booking the Spotlight, which is kind of cool. We're really looking forward to a good fall season. We have acting classes. We're going to have a kids cabaret. We're having auditions for that. So if you know anybody that's interested, please, send them. They can scan the QR code. The photo that you see here was our summer camp, our first summer camp at the Spotlight. We'll have Matilda Jr., which will be a children's beginning in fall. We'll have a children's theater. And then School of Rock just played this past weekend, so that was kind of cool. They had their finale concert at the Spotlight. We had a modeling group that is trying to rent it for this weekend, and they rented it a couple of weeks ago also, so it's picking up.
This Arcadia Academy?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, allowed to interrupt her because you were just. What was that?
At the end. Okay. Okay. The Bailey Johnson School and Community, the documentary that was released a couple months ago, is now online. It's on our website, and you can locate it here, and it's on YouTube. Murals. We had 2 new murals on the Alpha Loop, and that was last week. They are beautiful. I don't know if you've had a chance to walk them, but they look amazing. And we're looking at adding 2 new sculptures coming up soon. The Arts and Culture Master Plan for Alpharetta. We will be presenting this at a council workshop on Monday on August 18th. The consultant, Morgan, will be presenting it. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail right now because Morgan wants to kind of talk about that during his presentation. But if you have any questions in depth, it is available online to review with the agenda, so just let me know. If council does pass that on the 18th, we hope to move it forward for final approval on the 25th, or if we need to make any adjustments, we'll do that and push that meeting out. Some upcoming events. We have a new gallery show about the art of collage. It's the Atlanta Collage Society. Beautiful work. You would not believe these little teeny pieces of paper and art that they have put together and created. September 5th to the 21st, Arcadia is presenting a new show at the Alpharetta Presbyterian Church. And then the Alpharetta Symphony has a concert on September 19th. Both of those are ticketed, and you can get those on their website. Eclectic Lawn. We had Blair Crimmins and the Hookers this past weekend. It rained. We had to move them inside the Art Center. That was okay. It was great. We've got the Black Box coming up on September 19th. We have Funk Cake. And both of those had a lot of brass. We kind of had a theme going on this year for our lawn concerts out on the terrace. And then Battle of the Bands. We have 9 bands signed up. So we're very excited about that. And these are middle school, high school age students, a lot of energy. We've been watching the videos come in. They're really talented musicians, so we're excited to see that. So if you can come to anything, please come to that. And that's it.
Wrong button. Sorry. So I saw that there was this group called Arcadia Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a new, like, who are they? What are they?
It's Act 1.
Okay, that's what
It's the same group,
Uh-huh.
and they're reaching outside of the church to broaden their theater and their shows that they're producing. Act 1 will still exist within the church, within Alpharetta Presbyterian Church, and Act 1 will still have smaller shows there. It'll be a church program.
Okay.
And now Arcadia is branching out, and they'll have shows throughout the city in different theaters that are throughout the city.
Because later on you showed another picture and Arcadia was doing at the Presbyterian Church. So
They are.
they're not really, they're not like a City of Alpharetta programming group, or
They're one of our art leader groups. They will be when they
Oh.
get their 501c3 profit status. Act 1 is turning their nonprofit status over to, not turning it over, but they're giving the theater group over to Arcadia. They're going to let them take that art leader group with us, our partnership.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So going forward then, will they be using that new space in the mall more often?
They
Or
will.
will they still do a lot of stuff at the church?
Right now, it's a little hybrid as they're progressing,
Uh-huh.
but eventually they'll be on their own and using other theaters throughout.
Okay.
And they'll probably still do some shows with the church as needed. They still have a partnership. The church is actually providing all of the costuming that Act One used. They're going to make that open as a shared costumes, props for all the theater groups and community groups in Alpharetta. So
Oh,
we have an MOU with the church, and we provide storage space over in Crabapple. Over,
at the
that-
government center or whatever that, the baseball,
the government,
basketball
yeah.
fort?
We have storage space, so they're going to open that up to all theater groups to utilize props, and there's a lot of people that are excited about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's really cool. Okay, and the other thing was I saw that School of Rock, is that's not the business that's over there by the silos. Like, there's a business in the silos, like next to the One Life, there's a business there.
They
that-
do have a business, yes, and they actually did a rental. They filled out our application, and they rented our facility, the
Oh,
Spotlight.
okay. Well, that was good.
So they had their classes at the school, but they wanted their final performance to feel like it was in an
A
actual-
theater, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, that's good. Good for you that you got
Yeah,
your name out there. Good for you. Okay.
Did you say the Battle of the Bands, you have to submit a video to be accepted to participate? Is there like an email that they should be sending it to, or what's that process?
I can send that to you.
Okay,
Would you
yeah,
like-
please, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I may have a tough question, but I hope it's not. In the guide, it mentioned for this cultural thing that one of the top things to do is to measure, to have economic development. How do you measure economic development? That'll-
I'm actually going to let economic development measure that. So I'm going to
Sounds
lean on
great.
them. I'm going to lean on them because that's their expertise. And they've actually been a part of the entire process. And so I'm going to kind of reach out to them and let them give advice on how to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Oh, thank you, Kim. Next up would be Recreation Services Division, but Christine Young's not in attendance today, and her report's in the packet for review. We do have a question. If we have questions for her, how do we email them to you or her? Okay. Thank you. Next up is Park Services Division. Mr. Millie.
Right now, basically, we're preparing for the fall season, so all parks are prepping for athletic fields, athletic common areas for all fall athletic programs. Examples, basically edging, adding infield mix, painting dugouts, score
Thank you, Eric. Does anyone have any questions? Cheryl?
I do. Who's paying for the nets at North Park? Does the Alpharetta Youth?
Yeah, it was a 50/50, so
Uh-huh.
AYSA is paying for some, and, we are as well.
Is that what they're spending their money on, is new nets, or?
Well, no, they're doing the 50/50 split with the batting cages and all that, so all of that, Chris is facilitating.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, good for them. What about the bathrooms there at,
Well, bathrooms.
that, in that, that, you're gonna get to that? Okay, okay, all right. Okay, then the other question I had also had to do with North Park. I drove by and I saw all that pond work that they're doing. I thought when we put that system in, it was this massive detention pond off, like behind the Peace Pole. You went to this detention pond, and then that fed into the pond with the fountain. Is that not working? Like, is that whole system not working?
Sometimes things fail, and,
Uh,
so that was one of the things that they had to redo. So they had to redo, they call it a four-bay system.
yes, yes, I remember all this.
And, but yeah, some of that did fail, and, over time. And so then.
Not that long of time, and I'm not that old. I mean,
But, I'm not an engineer, so I can't speak to all that, but, it's all been corrected now, like the four-bay system, and like I said, the dredging of the pond is fixed, but they're still working on the engineering stuff, but,
okay,
so, yeah, should be
better?
more efficient.
Okay. Well, because I thought as well, since they're done doing construction, like the whole issue started, I thought when St. Aidan's and Kings Ridge started digging, and then that all came to us, and we had to do all this remediation. But those guys aren't digging anymore, or are they still digging up there?
No, to my knowledge, they're complete up there.
Okay. Well, it failed. Okay, sorry. All right, thank you.
Any other questions for Eric? All right, thank you. All right, last but not least, Park Services Division for Wills Park and Equestrian Center. Matt? Hey.
We are kind of finishing up our summer season. Good evening. We're just finishing up the summer season at Wills. It's been a great season, busy, but the park has shown very, very well. It's in very good shape heading into the fall season. I know we've got some practices starting up. We've got fall ball. It's hard to believe that'll be starting at the end of the month. Staff's done a really good job of adding some new seating, signage, and park enhancements all around the walking trail. Got a lot of stuff going on at the Equestrian Center. We've got a large horse show this weekend. If you need something to do, come out, check it out. I think they're at capacity, so we're looking at probably 260, 270 horses. We've got some new fencing that was added around the stable areas from our staff that was constructed, so it's a lot safer. It looks very nice. And then we also have three new spectator pavilions that were added as you come into the entrance of the Equestrian Center to the right, which is facing Arena 1. So that was done in a partnership with the Equestrian Foundation. So that's being funded by them. So those open up, I believe, this weekend. They're trying to get them open for this weekend. So I know the rain kind of slowed them down a couple of days, but definitely enhances the view as you come in. It gives it that really nice equestrian feel and equestrian look. So anyway, that kind of concludes my report. Does anybody have any questions?
Wasn't there a concession change not too long ago? I'm forgetting memory exactly when, but just curious how that's going, if that's been up and running, I guess, for a few months now.
It has, Derek. We've turned over our concession operations to the Equestrian Foundation. So they now run their contractor, which we maintain the facilities, but they maintain the vendor, which is, people seem to like it. They've been here for, I think, almost a year now. So, yeah.
I'm getting old. So I don't remember it being that long.
Time flies, time flies.
Jeff?
Matt, and this may be something Morgan has to answer, but at one time, there was talk about redoing all the stables. Is that still in play to be done when they start with Wills Park, or?
We have a master plan, and I think we're just kind of prioritizing that. I believe getting the arena footings all the same, so we're consistent throughout all the arenas. We'll be looking at that, and then some other infrastructure projects to start before we move on back to the stabling area.
Matt, quick question. Mid-Broadwell falls within your scope, correct? And the water feature there has been down for a while, and just curious, number one, how do you report things like that? Because a neighbor shared it with me, and we were there recently and confirmed that. How do we remedy that?
So if you could, yes, let me know or let staff know,
Sure.
and then, yeah, we can make those repairs as needed. But I'll go out and take a look at it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Anyone else?
Awesome. Thank
Oh,
you.
good, thanks, Matt. All right, now we're going to go back into the agenda to hit new business for the active adult facility membership. Morgan.
Good evening, Recreation Commission. First, let me apologize for being late. When I got the text, I was sitting at Chick-fil-A having a number one, thinking I had like an hour and 15 minutes. So I apologize. I did finish, because putting on weight is so important, I did finish my sandwich. I'm just going for full disclosure. But then the rest of the way, I sped over here. I did not eat the chicken fast, but I did speed coming over here. So I apologize for being late. I just had council meetings are at 6:30, and for some reason I had that in my head, so I apologize. So at the last workshop, the commission talked about and discussed the possibility of adding a $40 annual fee for non-residents use of the adult activity center. At that, it was the indication from the commission was you wanted to move that forward, so it's on the agenda tonight for a vote. That would be a vote to recommend to mayor and council that we institute this. So then I'm still going to have to workshop it with council and a vote council. So we've hopefully got it lined up that that's the way it's going to work. But in essence, if you're not an Alpharetta resident, you'll pay $40 for the privilege for a year to do the activities and enjoy the adult activity center. If you're a resident of Alpharetta, nothing changes. It's in keeping with all of our other programs that have a non-resident fee tied to them. So staff is recommending that approval of this, and be glad to answer any questions you may have about this particular item.
Morgan, I know the fee will be different for non-residents versus residents, but everybody's going to have like a membership card
Yes.
now, right? And that'll help the city with all kinds of.
It's moving toward that we're trying to track the usage better. So everybody that, whether you're a resident or non-resident, you become a member there, then we'll give you a card. You'll swipe that card. That way we know when you came and be able to track you. So yes, everybody will have that. And we're working toward having only one card. So if you're a senior, I shouldn't say that because I'm a woman. If you're an older resident and you join the adult activity center, but you also want to do free play basketball and get a swim card, it'll all be on one. So you just have to swipe the same thing at each of the locations. Trying to make it easier on me, but everybody will have a card.
Do we have any way, have we thought about a way to evaluate what impact this has on the participation there?
We'll be
Like, so, like, and we're definitely going to check, like, after 6 months and after 12 months or some timeline, because if it's having a really bad impact, I think that we should maybe reconsider or something.
We agree with you totally. In fact, we have Christine has it marked at 6 months and 12 months to give a report back to the commission, because we can just take the last year's time frame and put it on this 6 months and give you what those numbers look like. So that's as close as we're going to be able to get, is to compare, the first 6 months of this year to the first 6 months of next year. We got to get that, and then that information will speak for itself, as they say. Yes, absolutely. And just so you know, this would start come January of 2026 is when this would be, if it's approved.
Apologize, I missed the workshop, but I'm thinking about just the different activities. So, I don't know, some non-resident just wants to attend an open gym one time. They still need to do the $40. There's no like one-time program or fee that they could do in lieu of paying $40 if they don't think they'll ever be back, or they're visiting from another city or something like that.
The $40 for non-residents applies to just the activities at the adult activity center. It doesn't have a gym, but if you want to come and take part of a free program, even if it's just one time, then you would have to pay that.
Okay, I thought you said basketball, so that's where I got.
Well, basketball, we have a resident and non-resident fee to pay, what we call free play. It's not free play, but it's just, unsupervised, if you will. And there's a resident and non-resident fee. I was just alluding to the fact that it would all be on the same card. So it's still, if you're a senior, if you're an older American or older Alpharetta resident and you want to play basketball, you still have to pay a fee separate from what you pay at the adult activity center.
But Derek brings up a good point. If my sister came to visit and she just wanted to come to the building with me, well, okay, I'm a resident, but she's not. Would we have to sign her up, or could we have like a guest pass of some sort that you could bring? Like, I know that we're loath to make exceptions, but.
I would, I don't know the exact answer to that, but I'm going to give an off-the-cuff answer. There's got to be a way that can happen. If somebody, you bring a guest for the first time, but we also know, folks, if you give folks an opening,
That'll
they'll
expand.
Drive,
I understand,
through it.
but
So
I do think he has a point.
we will give it. I think that's more of just an operating deal. Operations deal. Regardless of, it's either yes or no. But if it's a yes, then we will institute that and bring that back to you. We want to try to keep it moving because January is right around the corner. We want to try to give it as much time as we can, but we will put that to staff, and we'll give the commission an answer in writing to how we're going to handle that, the one-offs there.
Okay, so just to confirm, are there be any free activities, whether you're resident or non-resident, like bingo, or all of it's regardless? If you walk in the door, you pay the fee.
No, there are free activities for residents.
Got it.
And right now it's for non-residents. Under
Both.
this plan, residents, nothing will change for the resident. Those free activities remain free. If you're a non-resident, you're just paying for the privilege to come to those free programs. But it's $40 and you can do it all year.
Thank you. And in the workshop, you mentioned if someone couldn't afford that, there would be a way of reaching out to you guys.
Absolutely.
Is there a process set up for that communication?
Yes, there is. There's it's for all of our programs that we have in place, a scholarship program. There's several ways that you can qualify for that. Most of them are based on federal guidelines as far as free lunch, free or reduced lunch. But there's also an income there. If you can prove that you're below this certain income annually from your tax returns or however you prove it, then there is the opportunity for scholarships for people who cannot afford it.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for staff or Morgan on this one? So the motion on the floor is to go forward with a $40 non-resident fee. That's what's being considered. And then Alpharetta will be free. And I think it's $5 for the card if you lose it. We'd like to have someone to actually make the motion as stated. Commissioner Rand? Do I have a second? And Commissioner Norton? All right, we have a motion and a second. The motion is now on the floor for discussion. Do you guys want to discuss this any further? All right, it's now closed for debate, and we get to vote. Motion carries 6-0. So the motion on the floor that is offered by Commissioner Rand and approved has the approval, sorry, the approved, huh? That doesn't make sense. All right.
And before
We're
we
good.
leave that subject, before we leave that subject, I just want to let everybody know Christine is out of town this week, so we won't be able to get you that answer this week. But by Tuesday or Wednesday, we will send out to the commission how we are going to handle the one-offs of those situations. So I just didn't want you to expect us to do it, but I want to wait till Christine gets back and for her to be part of the discussion.
Okay. Thank you. And honestly, the next step is your report. You want to continue?
I've got some slides or some photos that I want to show you, but there's a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. One of them is, I know you mentioned the restrooms at North Park. If you go back to August the 18th, the Mayor and Council approved a little over $18 million for parks improvements. And the majority of that was in like a $17.4 million for the bond projects that we had in a separate bucket. But the other was for the complete removal and a construction of a new restroom and concession stand at North Park. Yes. We have a meeting with the contractors tomorrow to get the schedule and to begin work, and we're going to do that over the winter this year. So we're excited about that. It is, it's by far, it's a dead heat as to which one is the worst, whether it's that one or Wacky World. I would probably give North Park the edge simply because it's smaller, and when it's needed up there. So we're excited about that. So that's getting ready to happen. And then the other was the larger bond referendum items where we're going to do the work on Wacky World, what we call Wills Park proper, includes the dog park. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Also the work at the Equestrian Center, along with the bond funds, along with $1.9 million that's coming from the foundation to move that project forward. We're going to build Old Rucker Park around the farm. That's the rest of the 11 acres that we have out there, as well as Union Hill is going to get it's upgrading, which includes some erosion control, a redone parking lot, a playground, and a skate park at Union Hill. So we're really excited about that. This whole project is going to take about, they're saying about 18 months from the time they start, and their priorities are Wacky World and the Equestrian Center. So those are going to happen for a while, and then toward, as they're starting to wind those projects down, then they'll do Old Rucker and Union Hill. So just know that from start to finish, it's going to be about 18 months. But we're really excited. I think we're going to change the landscape of parks here in Alpharetta and start a new standard. So we're really excited about the option here. Before I start the slides, I did want to mention one other thing that I asked Kim when I came into the middle of her conversation if she had mentioned the Cultural Arts Master Plan. She said she did a little bit. I want to go ahead and mention a little bit more because it's exciting what we're getting ready to bring forward with that Cultural Arts Master Plan. It is a well-done plan. It's easy read. You can sit down in one or two sittings, and you can read through the plan, and you can understand it when you get to the end. So we're really excited about it. It's multifaceted. It doesn't deal with just one kind of art. It does the whole cultural scene as far as it talks about the history, what we're doing with that, with music, with visual arts, with the performing arts, and all of that. So it doesn't tie the city to any particular thing. It just gives them a nice road back of how we can get to a better place with the arts here in Alpharetta. So we're really excited about that, and I think that gets workshopped Monday, right? Monday night at council and with the vote on the 25th. So I'm really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. Me and Kim's been talking about the Cultural Arts Master Plan for about 7 years now, I think. Yeah, so it's exciting times for us. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna switch over to this one. Someone too? So, lots getting ready to happen at Wills Park. Tonight, we're going to talk about Wills Park proper. It's what we call Wills Park proper. It's everything but the equestrian center. So everything, including Wacky World, the restroom, and all like that. So we're going to take a look at it because it's been now almost closing in on 3 years that the bond referendum was passed. So I want to make sure everybody remembers what we were doing and what, what impact that's going to have. And there's going to be a lot of good impact, but there's some negative impact coming too, as far as particularly the flow of the park. So if I'm gonna put this up and make sure that it's where you can see it. Can everybody see that okay? That is an overview. We're in a drone above Field 1 looking at the new Wacky World. And you can see it pretty clean. You can see how much bigger the restroom is. It's about, I think, 150% more restrooms in this than there currently are. There is a family restroom as well. Excited about that. You can see that the restroom and the entrance to Wacky World are lining up because a lot of folks that are playing on the playground, particularly in the younger area, do not give you a lot of notice that they need to go to the restroom. And so we've lined that up to make it easier. You can see Wacky World there is it's bigger. Wacky World's a lot bigger. Wacky World 2.0 is a lot bigger. We are working with the company right now for a third shade structure over the structures there to the right, because we heard loud and clear that's one of the things that we really need is more shade. And what's not depicted in this particular drawing is there is going to be a fence around it, just like the one that's around the pool. It's black, the black, not aluminum, but steel. That's a tough word. Black steel, just like at the playground where you can see through it and know what's going on. Because the other thing that we heard shade, a place for the parents to sit, and to be able to have a view shed of what's going on in the playground where your kids are playing. So the thing that I want to point out, and this is one of the, certainly going to be one of the negative things that's going to come out, is the number of trees that are coming out because of this. There is a lot of trees, okay? A lot of them, there are a lot of ornamental trees. There's a few specimen trees, and then there's a couple of that are really in decline. We have had a full report done. All these trees have to come out for this project to move forward. The biggest culprit is stormwater. If you notice below the restroom and to the left of the restroom, there are trees there right now. All of that's going to be a stormwater area. When it rains, that area is going to be wet. When it's not, it's going to be a dry riverbed, if you will. And you notice, if you look at Wacky World now and this one, you'll see that there are no trees inside the fence area of Wacky World. One of the things that you shouldn't do is build playgrounds around trees, because they are eventually, something's going to fall off that tree. It's eventually going to get to the point where you need to take it out. Every single tree in Wacky World right now, if you go and look up, we have had to prune the top of them because the trees are slowly dying at the top. The playground is kind of like parking on the roots of those trees. Kids and parents are running and walking every day on top of the roots, and they're slowly but surely killing those trees. A lot of the trees around Wacky World are crepe myrtles. Now, You can argue whether crepe myrtle is really a tree or not. I don't want to get into that argument. I'll just call it an ornamental tree, but they're coming out as well. So I just wanted to make sure, and this is one of the biggest reasons I want to workshop. I'm going to do this same workshop with council, is so that when we start taking those trees down here in 3 or 4 months, I don't want anybody to be surprised. I'm 100% assuming I'm going to get some phone calls and emails about this, but I just don't want anybody to be surprised when it happens. So the other thing that I'll point out is in between Field 1 and the area we're talking about, you see that spine that we're going to be building through the park. So we're going to connect the west end to the south end with a continuous one single trail through the park, and you'll be able to follow that pretty easily. Right now, sometimes it's asphalt, sometimes it's concrete, sometimes there's tree roots in it and all this, that, and the other. So we are, I'm pretty excited about the spine. And if you see, that's right, I can point right here. See right there? This place right there? That's what we're calling a little nodule. It's just a little places where we know people are going to congregate. We're going to make it obvious that that's where you can congregate, and kind of a mini roundabout, if you will. You don't need it, but it kind of serves that same purpose to keep the traffic flowing.
Morgan, what is the surface of Wacky World again?
Say it again?
What's going to be the surface of Wacky World?
It's going to be what we call a poured rubber surface.
Okay.
So it'll be a single surface all the way around. Once they start pouring, it'll be continuous, which is exciting because it'll be much more accessible by everyone.
That's where I was going.
Wood chips.
We had somebody come in and speak about ADA compliance and just accessibility.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know if
Now, not everything in the playground is not ADA accessible, but a lot of the play equipment is.
Morgan, I know we're looking at a snapshot right here, and I noticed some of these changes are where some of the pavilions are currently. Are there going to be new pavilions put throughout the park, or is just as part of the process?
A new what?
Pavilions.
We're losing that pavilion that's outside Wacky World. Right?
Yeah. We don't have any, to be honest with you, Cameron, we don't have any plans right now for any additional shelters. Those are fairly easy, if you will, to put in where we need them. We still have the Lions Club that we're going to improve greatly the access to that, and get rid of, right beside the Lions Club Pavilion, that cross-tie flume that's about 4 feet of just open area. All of that's going to get redone. But we don't have any plans to do that. But again, I think those are pretty easy to put in.
And wasn't there also like that art and music program too, the gentleman was doing underneath one of those?
Say that again? I'm
There
sorry.
was a gentleman that was doing like a music thing or Art Fridays or under one of those pavilions there, I thought at one point. I could be wrong, maybe I'm
Oh,
confusing
are you
parts.
talking about a music program?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that a
yeah.
different location than?
Yeah, we still have several in the park. There's the Grand Pavilion behind the community center. We have one between Mansell House and Field 5, and then we have the Lions Club plus another one right down the road, and then one at the Equestrian Center. So we have some, and not saying we don't need more, but I'm more of an opinion. Let's get everything in and kind of see if we need some somewhere. Where are people going to really congregate? Because we only lose. That's the only, and it's a smaller pavilion, so it's the only one that we're losing.
Yeah, and for my 2 cents, I would think that I would like to see, once we get everything in, if we could get another pavilion there, because like what Cheryl was just saying, I think that one that's there right now is very popular for, like I said, birthday parties or parents who have young kids that can
Okay.
set up and, hey, let's meet over here and have lunch, and kids are playing on the playground.
All right. Well, see, it's a lot of it and so I'm probably not even qualified to say this, but a lot of it has to do with the stormwater,
Sure.
where we can put what. So we'll certainly bring that up with the contractor. One of the contractor that the city has now signed a contract with is a group called Integrated Construction. They go by ICANN. I've worked with them when I was in Roswell. I worked with them several times, and since I've been here, they're the group that constructed the extension of the Greenway from Marconi to Union Hill, and they also just built a brand new Alpha Loop from Haynes, Old Milton, all the way over to North Winds. So they're a great construction company, and we can certainly talk about what that possibility looks like.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Morgan, one quick question. At the beginning of this, we talked about community involvement, bringing it down and stuff. Are we still talking about that? Or?
Absolutely. It's going to be a community build, just like the original one. We had the option of a community build, what they call a hybrid build, which is where everything is cut, everything is already pre-done, and the community just kind of looks like they're helping. And then the one where the contractor puts it all in. And we decided for two reasons. Number one, we think the community build is the right way to go, because I think that's why Wacky World currently is so loved, is because over the years everybody's talked about how they help build it. And then the other thing is cost. It's saving us. We found out doing it this way that there's a $350,000 savings by doing the community build. Now, there is some cost with the community build. We're going to have to buy some lumber. We're going to have to buy some tools for us, but it's not anywhere close to the $350 that we're saving. And it's funny because the cost of the surface that Derek was asking about is about $350,000. Funny how that worked out. Okay, anybody have questions about this? Okay, so the next slide is just another fun one. It's just a little bit better view of what the new Wacky World is going to look like. And again, the left-hand side is more smaller children. The right-hand side is the 6 to 12, if you will. And we're going to try to add one more shade here to the right.
And Morgan, Play by Design will still work hand in hand with ICANN?
Absolutely.
And do we know, I know how you said this is going to kind of cascade equestrian, Wacky World, Rucker, Union Hill. Do we have a guesstimate on dates for Wacky World as volunteers or
I don't. We are, we're waiting for all the contracts to get signed by us and the other group, and then we hope sometime next week to sit down and have an initial meeting with ICANN, and where they have their schedule and they'll be able to tell us that. They know that Wacky World is meeting that community build is the number one priority on the proper side. Equestrian Center is a number one priority too, so they're actually going to tool up both sides. They're going to start at the Equestrian Center and at Wacky World area at the same time.
Okay.
They're big enough to do that. So we anticipate construction starting sometime this fall. We would love to get the community build in by the end of the year, but if not, then February or March. But 2 weeks from now, I'll be able to give you that schedule as given to us by ICANN, because they're going to, at the end of the day, the construction company is going to have to drive the construction time as to when they can do what.
Sure.
We have some leeway, say you got to stay away from this date or whatever. There's two things they have to do. Number one is they have to provide access to all the fields at all times. Now, it might mean you might have to walk all the way around Wacky World to get to the field. And the other thing that they have to do is we have to be able to do horse shows during the construction over there. So that's a given going into that. So there will be some inconvenience, but not where people can't get something.
Mm-hmm. And just a little less urgent, the spine, obviously that's not a greenway, so I can't imagine we would open it up to bikes. But I was there doing a tree climbing class, and there was motorized scooters, going every bit of, I don't know how many miles an hour. Just kind of curious if the governance of kind of what will be allowed on the spine is different than what's allowed on the trails today.
Bikes and scooters are not allowed in the Wills Park.
Interesting.
And the Alpha Loop's not coming through the park. At one point in time, there was thought about bringing it behind the community center and out to Old Milton, and that has been nixed. So the Alpha Loop is going to be on front on Roswell Street in front of the community center.
Okay.
So it is not coming in the park. So if you see a scooter or a bike, they're not supposed to be there. And if you see that, I would love an email saying, I saw this at this time, so that we can pass that along to our community service guys in public safety, so that they can be there at a particular time. 'Cause
I think a lot of people,
it's hard to catch them,
they don't know. I think they don't know.
Yeah, I
and
think they don't either. So
Not
yeah,
malintent, but just good to know. Thank you.
And as part of this project with this, particularly with the spine, we're gonna, that's the spine in Wacky Worlds, where we're gonna prioritize putting up signage that tells people how they're supposed to act in the park. Most of them probably know, but we got to remind them. Yeah. Any other questions? So just to remind you what the restroom look like. You know, it's going to be a good-looking building. As far as restrooms go, it's not going to be, I don't think this one's going to win any awards or be on the front of the Restroom International magazine, but it's going to more than adequately fit our bill. And we're confident that when we have a tournament like the Braves country tournament in the park, we won't have to bring in porta-johns. And so we're really excited about that. Lots of ventilation. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. A little bit more open than what you're used to. And again, that middle room is a family restroom. And just so you can see the detail, that shows you how many toilets. The men's are on the right here, and the women's are on the left. And so we got 10, and 10 plus the 1. So we're going to 21 restrooms. And right now, Matt, you remember how many total we have? 7? Yeah, more than double. So, any questions? All right. This is just another view of the same area. This is like if you were field 1 and 4, one's on your left, 4's on your right, and you're walking toward the parking lot. So it's just, again, that what we're calling that little nodule, we're going to have some seating there, and we're going to encourage people. That's a good place to hang out at the crossroads. One last one. This just shows the spine in a different location. Right there in the middle of the picture along here, that's the Walk of Fame. Used to be the Wall of Fame, and now we lined it up on that. So you can see how all that's going to interact, and just how it's going to dress the park up, having the spine through there. I mentioned the 2 gates. We're going to have a gateway out on the east end and on the west end. This depicts what the east gate's going to look like. So if to take this picture, you'd have to be standing in the middle of Old Milton and where Roswell crosses Old Milton. Okay? Zaxby's is right here. Yep. Okay? And so you can see how, again, we want it to be inviting. We want it to match the feel of the community. To the left, this is the Alpha Loop. It goes down. Roswell Street will cross over, connect to the new street there. What's that new street?
By the academy, right?
Yeah, across the street from the academy. I can't remember. Think of it in a minute. But it's going to you follow the loop, you're going to go left. Follow it to the right, you go a little ways, and then the spine's going to start. It's actually going to, I'll show you that here in just a minute, how you're going to get there. And then this is the big tree. That's the Circle of Friends. And the Circle of Friends are going to get an update as well. So it's going to, few of these pieces need to be retired. A couple of foots are gone. And we also want to have it be a little more inclusive, if you will, when we put the circle. We're not going to take them all out, just 2 or 3 of them that need to come out.
Isn't the greenway on the east side of Roswell Street, like out in front of Ceviche, and then they're gonna cross the street to be on the west side in front of the park? Is that what's gonna happen?
They will, from here, if you're coming this way, you'll cross over Old Milton, then you have to cross over Roswell to get to the new point part that was built. Because they wanted it on that side when you get there, but where we're at, there's not enough room on the other side to do that with Zaxby's and all like that. So it's not unusual for it to have to cross over. But they are enhancing the intersection to make it a little more visible for people to pass. Now, one of the things that may be a surprise to you, but this is part of the transportation part, the turning lane that comes on off of Old Milton, where you turn to go to the community center, that lane is coming out. So there's not going to be a turn in there because they don't want people to use that as a cut through. So they're taking that lane out, and then so actually all of this moves forward a little bit.
You're saying turning off of Old Milton onto,
Roswell.
okay.
You can't turn, if you're going west on Old Milton, so heading from downtown to our house, right? You can't turn right or you can't turn left?
If you're coming west on Old Milton, nothing's changing.
Okay.
You're coming east, there's a turn lane, where you can get out of this lane,
Yes.
and they're taking that out. So there's just going to be a right-hand turn. Very similar to what it is at Wheels and Old Milton right now. It's just a turn.
Yeah, I like that. Good idea.
Okay, and then this is the last slide I have. This shows the spine, how the spine's going to run. So this is the west end. So it follows it, go by Wacky World, comes through the park, gets to the what's that called? The Grove. To the Grove, and it goes in both directions. So we're gonna the loop there is not going to be asphalt, it's going to be concrete. And then it comes behind the building, crosses in front of the community activity building, and then you can see where it goes out and catches the other gateway. So that's Wills Park proper. At the next meeting that we have, we'll be talking about the equestrian center. I'm going to bring the same kind of slides, give you the same kind of detail. And then at the next meeting, we're going to do Union Hill and Old Rucker together because they're a little bit smaller and a little bit easier. But I just want to remind everybody what's coming. So when you see the dirt start being turned, you'll know what's going.
Just curious if I know that the delay is looking for cost benefit, et cetera, with the construction manager at risk. And just curious if that cost analysis has been done with this 18-month delay. Like, what is the net savings to our community?
The net savings, we don't know because we hadn't priced everything out. We hadn't priced out Old Rucker. We hadn't priced out Union Hill. We hadn't priced out the spine, the gateways. We had just focused on the Wacky World and the restroom and starting the equestrian center. I would tell you, while we can't answer that, we're doing all of this within the budget of the bond. And I don't think we would have gotten there doing it the way we were doing it before. I know it's been believe me, this is, for several reasons, the last 12 months have been extremely long for me. But I would tell you now, now that we're on the other side, in lots of ways, I would tell you it was the right way to go because we're getting all of this, plus the equestrian center, plus Union Hill, plus Old Rucker, and we're within budget. And I don't think we would have done that, doing it one at a time, because there was having one company do it is certainly was the way to go. So I I can't give you a figure, but I know that I'm confident that it was worth the wait. And I think we'll get a better product, more consistent product by having one company.
So
So
the dog park is purpled on this picture, but you didn't show us any dog park.
I forgot to thank you, Cheryl.
You'll bring it next time?
We are redoing the dog park as well.
Uh-huh. You'll bring it next time, we'll see it?
Say that again.
You'll bring it next time, we can see?
I can. It's changing. Well, right now there's 3 areas. In the new one, there's going to be 2 areas. So we're not taking out many trees. A couple of small ones have to come out, but we're really just going to be changing the drainage and the underground drainage so that it can drain better. And then we're going to have a small dog area and a large dog area. So I can certainly bring that drawing, but it's just really, we're building, and probably shouldn't say this out loud, we're not building a dog park, we're building a park for people with dogs. Because the dog doesn't really care whether it has a tree or a fire hydrant when it needs to go. It really doesn't. So we're constructing this for the dog owners so that they can be comfortable. And if you look now, if you go to Waggy World and you're standing where the entrance is, right? Count the number of boards, okay? And then look all the way on the other end where it all drains and count the number of boards over there. And they're supposed to be the same number. They're not. So that's where everything's going. It's literally filling up, kind of like the pond at North Park. It's just filling up. So we're going to go in and dredge it and make it nicer, particularly with doing some underground drainage, improving the water, because right now it's just a spigot, and we're gonna make it better with better seating and all like that for the folks.
For the folks.
Okay.
And I see we're also gonna, I guess we're paving that auxiliary parking lot that we have right now, like.
Yeah.
Are we gonna maybe grow some trees in there, or are we just gonna
Yes.
pave it all?
We're required by city ordinance to plant trees when we do the parking lot.
Okay, so we're gonna save some space, and, because it makes a big difference with parking lots.
Yeah. Well, it's a parking lot now. It's just a grass parking lot.
Yeah.
And the problem with the way it is right now, the first 3 or 4 cars that jump the curb decide how everybody else is going to park.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is make that, we need it.
Well, we just need the first 3 or 4 people to be clever.
Right.
But that's not always the case.
And not to go back to scooters, but are we talking just motorized scooters, or I'm thinking of the ones like my little kids use and kick their legs, because some of these baseball fields, it's hard to get to with the bags, and there's a whole culture with it.
So the rules say no scooters and no bikes. Now, what we would tell people is if you've got a 3-year-old on a scooter that you are helping, that's okay. Versus, like, just letting them go, where now they're crashing into people and all that.
I don't know what the rule is at OC Park, because that's where my son currently plays baseball, but there's a lot of fun activity on scooters for siblings while the games are going on, because they not much to do. It's away from the playground, so there might be some kind of blowback if there's signs and other kind of non-compliance.
Well,
complaints and things
the
like that.
intent of that is to keep the older kids and the adults from coming through an active park on a bicycle or a scooter. That's the intent. So I think we can, between now and probably something like 9-10 months from now, we can look at that and see if there's a way that we can formalize that and help that, because it's that. But I wanted to tell you that's the intent. And because if we say bikes can come through there, then I'm telling you some of the it's just some of the speedsters on the bikes will just absolutely wreak havoc through there. And you don't have to have been out there many Saturdays in the spring to know that there's not room for that. We'll work on